What is going on, everyone? I have a new setup here. I don't have the mic set up yet with the audio, but regardless, let's talk football. Okay, because what we have tonight is the Bengals at home beating the Ravens. And I might feel a little bit salty right now, and I do. And you know why? That's because the Ravens just lost me money. That's right, I took the Ravens, and they costed me money. But let's dissect this one. It's tough to come back when you give up 21 points and you're down 21-0 if you're a Raven. It's tough to come back from that. In the first half, you have A.J. Green catching 3 touchdown passes. You have Andy Dalton looking like Jesus out there, just dots after dots, carving up the Ravens' defense. The Ravens' defense was terrible in the first half. Their quarterback play was atrocious. Joe Flacco, when you look at their offensive side, even that was brutal. You have brutal reads. I mean, an interception that was literally right in the breadbasket of a Cincinnati Bengal. The first half was just atrocious if you are a Ravens fan. Great if you're the Bengals. I mean, A.J. Green getting going. 3 touchdown passes and 3 receptions. I mean, he was a beast in the first half. Talk about fantasy loving. If you had him on fantasy, good for you. But then the second half happened, and the Ravens showed a little bit of fight. They did. There were points where they were just carving up the Bengals' D. And they came back a little bit. They showed some fight. Actually, at the end of the first half, it was 28-14. So even at the back end there, after a lucky call, if you're a Ravens fan, a lucky pass interference call that gets them at the 1-yard line and they punch it in to make it 28-14, that's when the comeback started. But the Bengals still pursued. They got the job done. It did come down to the wire, but the Bengals defense actually made some pretty big-time plays late in that football game. You have Dunlap hitting Joe Flacco, which goes into an interception, which was huge in the second half. Then you have Sean Williams with the play of the game that sealed the deal for the Bengals, and it was a forced fumble. It was an 8-point game at one point late. The Ravens were on charge a little bit, trying to make it happen. There were some crucial play calling that I thought was a little bit iffy from the Ravens side. There was one where it was 4th and 2. Could they have kicked a field goal? They didn't. Turnover on downs around the 40-ish yard line of the Bengals. That one was a little iffy with one of the best kickers in the game. Maybe you snagged the points there. That's hindsight, but I think I would have taken the points there. Now when you got to charge back and make a comeback happen. There was a mistake by a cornerback of the Ravens, Young. It was 3rd and 2. Ravens were down 8. Late in the 4th quarter. And he gets a holding call. And that literally allowed the Bengals to go down on a drive, kick a field goal, and now it's an 11-point game in the 4th quarter. When you go down 21 points early, it's tough to come back. And it was just too much of a hole. That was the issue. Too much of a hole for the Ravens to dig themselves out of. Now, you got to give credit where credit is due. Good for the Bengals. They had an amazing start to this football game. And when it came down to it, in clutch moments, their defense showed up. And you gotta love that. As an Eagles fan, you'll love when defense steps up. The Bengals are now 2-0. Isn't that crazy? I would have never thought. But I will say this. They're going to Carolina. They're going to Atlanta. Then they play Miami at home, and then they have the Steelers at home, which we all know the Steelers-Bengals series. Right now, the Steelers are owning them, winning their last 6. So I would say 3 of the next 4 games are really tough for the Bengals. How will Andy Dalton handle it? Although, I will say this, Andy Dalton with 4 TDs tonight. Who's your daddy? What's he do? And the Ravens, now they're 1-1. You got some holes. You got some holes in that linebacker core right now with the Ravens. Speaking of holes, based off injuries, the Bengals were getting a little banged up. Joe Mixon getting a little banged up there. You had Sean Williams actually go down late, and their corner. A lot of men started to go down, whether it's the heat, whether it's just not stretching good enough, whether it's just football. Guys are starting to go down a little bit late at the end of this football game. But hey, listen, the Ravens lose me money. I might send a little Venmo over to the Ravens account. Let's see if they answer me. Can I get my money back after that poor performance? The Bengals get the job done. They're 2-0. A.J. Green with 3 touchdowns. Thursday Night Football is normally really boring. This game was very entertaining. Whether it's because it's football is just coming back and I'm so excited, or it was about a good game, or both. But it was very exciting. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on the football game and on the new setup. The microphone will be hooked up soon. I just need an adapter. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you next time.